Okay. I'd like to apologize to Starlight. I was unfamiliar with your game because apparently, you see, I had the graph that I drew. It was wrong because the graph that I drew had your powers as being useless. But you see, I didn't have the new data and the new spreadsheet. And the new data and the new spreadsheet said that your powers weren't absorbing atmospheric electrical energy. Your powers were hands. Because I'll be goddamned if you didn't figure out how to fucking fly and you didn't start using your powers in some creative fucking ways, creating like these light energy fists and just beating the fuck out of Firecracker. Completely, completely caught me off guard and made me low key a Starlight fan. I'm requesting this level of combat going forward. And, it's one of those things where we were having conversations on the last video in regards to her power. And someone said, it has a lot to do with the fact that these heroes live these super sheltered lives. And I didn't really think about that before. That a lot of the times they don't actually have villains. What they have are actors, and they pretend that they show up and they arrest people, and then Vought essentially sweeps it under the rug in the event that they actually do run into an actual bad guy. And because of that, when I was having this conversation with someone, I realized that there was no real potential for growth. Like Homelander without his suit on is skinny. There was never a reason for him to actually work and build his muscles, so he doesn't actually have muscles, it's the padding on his suit. For a lot of the other heroes, they use the most basic form of using their abilities, essentially because they've never been put in a life or death situation where they've had to use their maximum ability. And one of the characters that I pointed out was in regards to Kitty Pryde, where when we first encounter Kitty Pryde, her powers are just basically fireworks. And as the years went by and she became more and more adept at using her abilities, we discovered that her powers were never fireworks to begin with. Her powers were actually her creating like nuclear fission on a really, really small scale. And if she was to basically amp her powers up, she'd be absolutely fucking deadly. And they pointed this out in regards to Starlight, where they were saying that, now that she's no longer with Vought and she's no longer with Seven, the Seven she's actually training now, we're going to be seeing her using her powers in way more dynamic ways. I will 100% say, I did not believe that shit. I didn't believe that shit for a second. I thought that she was going to continue being fucking useless. But when she saw Homegirl on that screen talking all that shit, and she went into her office and she started like supercharging, I was like, oh, we're working towards something. That's like that's that Hulkamania, brother. That's that energy that Hulk Hogan has when he's been beaten down. He just starts that shaking. You're like, yeah, we about to get to something good. And she flew across that street and put the paws on her. I was like, oh yeah, that training's paying off. Like you're using your powers in so much way more dynamic ways than you were before. I wish to see more of this. So yeah, this video is the apology video. I'd like to apologize to Starlight. Like I said earlier in the video, I was unfamiliar 100% with your game.